Hello and welcome to episode 575. 575 of the Awesome Comics Podcast, the place where the small press makes a hell of a big noise. My name is Vince Hunt, and joining me as always is the artist and creator and returning bad boy of the summer, Mr. Daniel Butcher.
Hello.
Who's Vanguard, Viper, the Saint. You're fucking...
Thanks for the updates on Viper. That's like, I've got to letter it next week, and we're
almost
so
there,
send out the
almost done. Yeah,
I'll send out the backer survey tomorrow, Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, nice work. Oh, class.
And,
look forward to that, man. Can't wait.
Yeah. Speaking of nice work, Tony Esmond, you're lovely today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very. I've just washed my hair, looking quite floaty, isn't it? It's looking gorgeous.
Yeah. Do you use shampoo and conditioner?
No, I've never used anything like that. I just use what is ever nearest.
Now, hang on. Right, when you say,
I don't mean like bleach or something. The dog. Have I told you my dog's taken to watching me pooing? Have I told you this?
Nah.
I genuinely think it's because I've watched him poo so many times.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it's like,
but isn't it like I watch my back, I watch yours? Like if anyone
no,
tries
it's more like he looks
you,
at me, but it's the little whites of his eyes. He's sort of side-eyeing me while he's doing it, a bit scared.
He's one of those. How do you like it? That sort of thing, is it?
Yeah, I think he's turning inside out to carry a bag rather than to pick it up. It's like that.
If ever you've got to use the toilet, your pets will be like, "Are you in there?
Yeah.
Are you in there?"
Yeah. Oh, he forces his way in. He uses his nose to push the door.
Is it like fucking Jack Nicholson from The Shining?
A little bit. But he doesn't sit straight on. He sits like nervously just to the side, looking at me as if
he gives you side eye.
Want to? Yeah.
What? Right.
Mostly because I make a lot of noises on the loo.
Do you not have a lock on your door?
No, there's only three of us in the house, including him, so it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah.
Wow. Door shut, don't come in.
When you're over, then I leave it wide open.
like a fucking Wild West saloon.
You gotta be careful doing the old, like, just nick any shampoo, because, like, if you come down smelling like of elderberry and sandalwood, and the missus is like, that smells like my 40 quid shampoo.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. I can tell it's not.
Elderberry and sandalwood. What a combination. Sandalwood, canonically, is quite a masculine sense, isn't it? And I mean, elderberry.
Hint.
I must say, I'd use that shampoo. That sounds lovely.
I'd wash my balls with that shampoo. Yeah. The thing is, we buy it's like double the size of a washing up bottle. The shower gel I buy. I just buy it in bulk.
Yeah.
It just sits there. It's like fucking real man's.
Well, I've moved to soap now instead of shower gel.
You don't soap your hair, do you?
Okay. No, I don't soap my hair. I haven't got one of those soap bars. I've got like a shampoo and stuff. But when it comes to I don't use shower gels and stuff like that. I use have you heard
soap lasts longer, doesn't it?
Yeah. Have you heard
unless you're in the bath.
Depends where you're putting it. A Bear Bar. They haven't sponsored the show.
No, I've not. No.
Now? They just do. Look, I'll send you the link. They're really nice, actually.
For the AI transcript, Bear Bar. Bear bar.
Bear bar.
Is this turning into one of those videos I saw on my Instagram of Pride at the weekend? The bear march.
Yeah, I mean, it's no. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. But you should look it up because it's really good. You can get.
Do your balls smell nice now?
Oh God, they're amazing. Yeah. They've got a scent. They've got a scent called molten lather.
Nice.
It's nice.
I see that appeals to you.
Good, that is.
I wish that person from PR could go and work at Marvel. And we'd be all right.
Well, perhaps I treat myself to a comic earlier that Tony recommended. Perhaps I'll get myself a Bear Bar after Vince.
Recommend from Vince.
You can get a variety of grits. Welcome to the show, everyone, where we talk about comics and things that happen in comics. And it's Byrne night on the show tonight. I tried,
Yeah, it went all right.
People have got a pun in the episode title.
Be fun.
Yeah. And that's in January, though, isn't it, Byrne's night?
Yeah, January. It's
quick warning: if you listen to this show from this point on, you're a misogynist because it features John Byrne, and everyone apparently scorns his name on Twitter.
But we do like his comics. Yeah, we'd like to say we like his comics.
We haven't interviewed John Byrne, by the way. But as this is going out on John Byrne's birthday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to discuss
76 years old.
Wow, that's fucking great innings.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss the creator. We picked out a comic that I tell you what. Straight up at this. Should we name the title of the comic so if people want to, as they're listening now, go and find it in their collections or pick it up on Kindle and read along.
Let's name the comic, and then I'm going to give you a couple of pop quiz questions about Byrne.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna be awful at this, but go for it.
Marvel Team Up issue 79. Sword of the She-Devil. Claremont and Byrne co-plotters. Byrne on art. Terry Austin inks. Glynis Ween. Colours. Tom Ozakowski. Letters. Al Milgram editor. What a lineup this is. Roy Thomas consulting editor. I'll take it that's because of Red Sonja, I guess. Yeah. And Jim Shooter editor in chief.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was
that's
also.
What we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
Yeah. It was also reprinted in Marvel Tales as well, wasn't it? Marvel Tales 208 is what I've got.
Yeah.
Here.
And Marvel Team Up UK Winter Special.
Yeah, so there you go.
One.
So there you go.
There's multiple times.
It's less of a spoiler warning, more of a hey, you should get this. I mean, here's a spoiler. It's a really great comic, but yeah, we're gonna get stuck into that.
We'll probably get into in a minute of why it's not available.
Yeah,
widely you have to buy. You can buy a reasonably priced back issue.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting to that. There's also quite an interesting hypothetical that Butcher's got lined up for us. Butcher, it's good to have you back. The surgery went successfully.
Yes, the testicle surgery.
Inches off.
Yeah. I mean, I cannot believe you put that in the subhead of the Substack. I mean, pardon me, but that's a baller move. I mean, it was only hinted. I don't think we never said the word testicle. I mean, Tony
Kieran said he'd spent 7 minutes having a pop at me about going away for scrotal surgery, and it got cut because of technical issues. So I thought I wanted to put a subtle nod in the show.
Yeah. So yes, it's good to have you back, Dan. Thank you, Kieran, again for joining us last week.
Thanks, Kieran.
Yeah,
it was a good lad.
That was a great laugh.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be back, Dan?
Great, back in the saddle.
Good.
It
Wow,
was great.
He does actually have a saddle, everyone. That's how he.
Won't let you call all that again, Vince. It's interesting being.
She better not fucking listen to this.
No. Listening to the show is interesting because, I get the perspective of being a listener, not a kind of host. And it's like I felt saying, "Oh, I'd say this then," or "I'd say that," but I'm not there, so I can't. Perhaps, perhaps other listeners can maybe kind of do you get that feeling as well?
I'd say this. The other day I was listening to Falpy on a podcast. He did another podcast, and he kept going about him and his mate kept going about the Bean over him from the 70s, and I almost got so angry I rang him.
Yeah. that's the classic Eamonn
tomorrow. I'll be bringing it up.
Yeah.
But this will not do, sir.
Just to briefly put you on the spot, Dan, before we kick off properly, and we're not going to delve into this fully like we did last time. But in terms of creators that we don't connect with,
who are you thinking?
Who are you thinking?
When I was listening to that, there was one that was absolutely that's the one.
Yeah.
And it's completely escaped my mind now.
Why you just quickly trying to remember it? I will say a big shout out to the Slack community, and all the listeners who have continued this discussion in a brilliant way, because I mean, very much we kept saying this is not these people are bad. We just don't connect with them, and I loved the conversation that kept going over the week on the Slack community. If you're a listener and you're not part of the Slack community, please do get in touch with us and join it, because it's.
I literally got emails about it.
Yeah,
yeah,
nice. I do remember the ones I remember that really stuck out to me when you said Jay Lee, because when I was reading the X-Men at the time, and was it Executioner's Song?
Yeah,
could be,
and it was reading along. I was good, and then it'd be fucking hit the brakes. Oh, here's the fucking Jay Lee issue.
He also did Force Works as well. He did a lot of Force Works. Do you remember that?
But the art style was so jarring in that X-Men run of kind of oh fuck, there's the JD. But like you said, he kind of went on to kind of perhaps his art style wasn't right for that comic. But when he started doing the Dark Tower stuff, it was fucking gold.
Panosian was the same.
Yeah. They seemed to almost house style it, right? They were all we've got to be as much like Jim Lee as we possibly can.
Yeah. Because I saw him a lot when Wildstorm just first kicked off. Do you know what I mean? So and like you say, it's so jarring to go from. He has such a sort of unique voice. Yeah. But it was a unique voice that I really wasn't a fan of.
You didn't even get much shit over Alan Moore, did you?
No.
Everyone sort of understood the fucking task, didn't they? They didn't give you shit for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe the scales are falling from people's eyes a little bit regarding Alan Moore, or?
I
think because he's been so distant for so long now, and also kind of just saying he doesn't really care about comics anymore.
Yeah. I think it also.
I don't know. He says I haven't read comics in the next amount of years, but people keep going into him like, "What do you think about this in comics that happened last week?" It's like
I think he's got somebody in his ear who says, "Oh, comics are doing this," and it's like, no, you don't. You're not reading them. You don't understand.
Yeah. And
if you judge comics by what social media is, you don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Yeah. I mean, this week I'm going to put my hat in my hand and say I think Vertigo hasn't been this good for years. I'm loving Vertigo.
Oh, nice.
When it first started, I sort of gauged it by covers.
And stuff. We did the chat about Vertigo, didn't we? The new Vertigo.
Alan was saying something similar. Why DC needs Vertigo. He did a video for Green Archer. That's what for what.
Right. Yeah. And I've got to tell you, we were talking about it before we came on. 100 Bullets to US of Anger. I think it's one of the best things I've read. Full stop for years.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Is that the first time? Is that the first time they've come back to 100 Bullets in?
No, they did Brother Lono.
Brother.
He features in this. It was just 6 or 8 issue miniseries. But this fucking hell, just look at it, man.
It's a black and white book, isn't it? Yeah. Has there ever been like black and white like that before?
I'm trying to think, and I don't know. See, I was never a massive Mark. By the way, Jason from our buddy from 11 O'Clock Comics bought a page out of this.
The new one.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Wow. I mean, that's also brilliant to know that still absolutely.
You can buy it. You can
still buy it. Yeah.
I only read it in trade when the series was completely finished, and then I read Brother Lono issues because I loved it so much.
Yeah. I'll tell a lie. I did have when I had a tiny pull list with this was years. We're talking early. Whenever it was coming out. I just found like an online place that would deliver my comics.
Yeah.
And I only had a couple of titles that I was getting sort of monthly, and for about a year or so, I did have 100 Bullets because it was just, I think it was around towards the end of the first arc, second arc, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, for a couple of arcs. I couldn't tell you what it was like reading it issue by issue at the time.
It's relentlessly brutal still in that issue, and politically. It's not serving one particular group. Yeah. It's just being fucking blatantly honest about the shit that's out there.
What else has Azzarello done recently?
What has he done recently? Wow. Loveless is a few years ago, isn't it?
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
Nothing much. I went off him a bit, actually, in all honesty. He was just so rude to people at conventions and stuff. Right. It sort of put me off. It's only really...
he did the DC animated stuff, didn't he?
He did that.
Yeah. Did he do that fucking
Killing Joke
Batman one?
That's where he told people to fuck off from the stage.
The sex scene with fucking
Batgirl.
Why?
Yeah,
I know. Who knows why? It might be.
But this is a return to form for all the creators involved.
Yeah, I mean, made doubly brilliant by the fact that Riso is just so on form in it.
Brilliant.
So sharp. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking it back. I'd like to say I apologise. I think Vertigo's doing all right. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying most of their stuff.
I don't think when we had our chat, we were pretty. I like to think we were pretty even-handed.
It was pre-release.
Yeah, and I think you were very open-minded to it then. You didn't put it down.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there was some you were like, I'm not interested. I don't think I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty even-handed about it. At least I remember that. But
we always hold a hand up if we made a mistake and say.
I tried.
And when that day comes, we'll let you know when that happens.
Not always. None of it's perfect, but you know what I mean. In this case, certainly I am. Yeah.
Well, I think also there's those, the series, or sometimes. I mean, in this case, it's just the fact that they've always been good, and Tony's just enjoying them. Do you know what I mean? I think there's also the case of sometimes when you read a book, it's not for you, and then like a few years later, you reread it or you check it out somewhere, and all of a sudden it clicks. Do you know what I mean? Media's like, literature's like that, isn't it? It's sometimes
it's such a spread of different things. Comics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some things are good, some things are bad. Full stop. Some things, just take. Like I always say, Gene Colan was the one. It took me a while to get my eye in on him.
Fair enough.
And then I realised, no, this guy's great. But when he appeared in, the Marvel UK issue doing Daredevil, I'm like, oh, not him again. A bit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm like appreciative of him.
Yeah. I think like
weird like that sometimes.
Comics, any creative artistic endeavor, it's always subjective. It's always it's always personal in some kind of ways, even if it's just I like this and I don't like that.
I think that's the good question you raised is good in highlighting that, in as much that something can be like good, but it just doesn't connect, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There is that. Yeah, there's no mistake. Let's not forget that there is a good comic out there. You know, there is a comic that is very good, and there is a comic consequently that is very bad.
Yeah.
We should never forget that. Yeah. But then again, you can like things that are badly made.
And also,
I like some really fucking shit stuff.
Well, the thing is, we've all got like sort of frequencies, haven't we, that of like the things we like, and there are some comics that some people are like, oh, that's just trash, and it's exactly at the frequency that you want to read, and you're like, this is fucking awesome. This book, it is what it is. It knows what it's supposed to be.
I based a weekly column on this for fucking about 3 years at this point, and there's some really good comics out there, but there are some fucking shady shit going on out there as well.
I think you just got to be careful with saying I don't like it for XYZ reasons, and saying if you like this comic, it's so bad you're like a sex offender or something.
Yeah.
Those kind of
you're not.
If you like this, you are a bad person.
Yeah.
But
no.
Moving on to John Byrne. The
yes. So John Byrne, the classic creator. Happy birthday on Monday. But Tony, kick us off.
He's never going to listen to this.
No, he's never. He doesn't know who we are.
You don't care, see. He once banned me off his fucking website because I had a Yahoo email address.
I love
it. Okay, so a couple of questions for you. Where was John Byrne born?
Oh, I don't know. Leeds.
Was it in the UK?
I want to say it's probably in the UK.
It was the UK. Him and Clem were both born in the UK.
Coventry.
Scotland.
You're not far, actually. Walsall.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very close. Grew up in West Bromwich.
Wow.
Yeah. Moved to Canada when he was 8. And then I think he's an American citizen now. I think he got it a few years ago. Where was he first published?
Are you talking publisher rather than country?
I'm not talking. I'm going to say we're not talking a university magazine. We're going to talk about mainstream publisher publishing it
first. I don't know.
I was about to say first.
No, it was before that.
I struggled to think of somewhere.
He was in Foom, Friends of Old Marvel fanzine.
Oh,
the Marvel.
Wow, bloody hell.
1974. Wow. He name a non-Marvel and DC title that he made.
Xmen.
Xmen's
good.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Can you name anything that a non-Marvel and DC title he was in before he got a breakthrough into Marvel or DC?
Oh,
Femforce. I don't know.
It's not a bad guess. No, not a bad guess.
No.
Wheelie and the Chop Bunch, which I believe was called Chorlton and the Wheelies here.
Wheelie and the Chop Bunch?
I believe it's Chop Bunch. I believe it was called Chorlton and the Wheelies here.
It was.
I think that may be the same series. Space 1999, the comic. He was in that as well.
There's already people in the office discussing Chorlton and the Wheelies on Wednesday, so this feels very much kind of weird.
Okay, now what kind of office?
In the Matrix.
Okay, that's another.
Yeah, he did the backup in Eamonn, which I was reading just the other day.
Of course you were.
How did he get? Who was the artist who fucked up his deadline on Iron Fist, therefore getting Byrne to work on the title with Chris Claremont?
Ooh.
Somebody we've talked about. He's just had a Kickstarter finish with Mike Barron.
Ah, God, fuck.
Yeah.
That's done me.
Yeah.
Perhaps more famous for Firestorm, Micronauts.
Fuck, I was just looking at Micronauts cover like earlier today.
Go on, T.
Pat Broderick.
Fuck, okay.
So Pat Broderick missed a deadline on Iron Fist and they got Byrne in. I think Chris Claremont had seen his work somewhere.
How does that happen? Like, because it's not like, I turned up 5 minutes late. It's like you're supposed to deliver 20 pages of artwork. Like,
yeah, I wonder whether it was a bi-monthly, because some of them were bi-monthly back then, weren't they? I think.
Because surely you'd have to say, look, I ain't going to make this, so you got to get in some jobber.
I mean, we'll hear about it later, but Byrne is sort of second, really, to the King for King Kirby for doing a couple of books.
Turn around.
The book we're about to talk about, he was also drawing the X-Men at the same time.
That's crazy, right? I mean,
yeah.
Imagine being one of those artists like, oh, Dan, we need a fucking comic turnaround in 2 weeks. Call Dan up.
You
And
are
when the phone rings.
Yeah,
you
you
are
are that.
looking-
You are that,
the
Dan.
small
You
press.
have
You're like,
been
oh,
asked.
fucking
You have
hell.
been asked that.
You have been. You literally
pedal
are that
to the metal.
person. Yeah. Okay, let's name. Let's try and do. Let's say 5 Marvel titles. We're not allowed to do Marvel Team Up or the X-Men that he worked on.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, good one.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the classic covers. She-Hulk #1. I remember.
Yeah, he's on the cover of one of them, isn't he?
Definitely Fantastic Four.
Good. Yeah, it's 2. You know these.
Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight 3.
Oh fuck yeah.
Did he do Hulk? Just normal Hulk?
Yes, Hulk. Yeah, Incredible Hulk.
Wow, he did Incredible Hulk as well.
Yeah.
He didn't do Thor, did he?
I don't think so.
No.
He did do one of the big ones, or 2 of the big ones.
Did he do Avengers? Did he ever do it?
Oh yes, did Avengers. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
Wow.
Also worth looking. The Avengers stuff's really good. I really like his Avengers stuff.
How long was he on Avengers?
I think it was like 8 or 9 issues, something.
Oh,
like
right,
that,
so it
just
wasn't
before
a
George Perez
huge.
came
Yeah, it
on.
wasn't a huge.
Yeah.
run. Okay.
Been a real favourite little period of mine. He did some Champions as well, which is a favourite of mine as well.
Oh, okay.
He did Black and White. He did Star Lord, which was good. Back when Star Lord more had a sort of superhero look to him. And one of my favourites of his doesn't get talked about much, as much as it should be in my opinion, is the Captain America run he did. And he did sort of Cap for President, if you remember that in issue 250.
Of course, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
He's the one where he goes up against Baron Blood in that run as well. Fucking
That's
chops
it.
his head off with a shield.
Yeah, with Union Jack. Really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Let's do 3 DC titles.
God, my
Superman.
fucking
He did Superman, didn't he?
Superman.
yeah, Superman, the big one.
Kind of brought him back, depowered him a little bit post-crisis, didn't he?
Did he do the? Is it the Man of Steel when he's breaking the chains?
That's the one.
He did that cover,
Yeah,
didn't he?
his
Yeah.
chest. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the mini-series that came before it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Also famously, didn't he have him and Big Bardo almost do a porn film?
Bloody hell. That's interesting.
Did he?
A couple of Kirby titles he took on.
Oh, did he do New Gods?
New Gods.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And another one.
For some reason, I can completely picture his Big Barda. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know,
Yeah.
he's got such a style that the way that people look, I can clearly, like, I've seen a Captain America of his, that face, and
Draws women, so we'll get onto it in a minute, man.
Yeah.
but
Mr. Miracle?
He did, but not in his own title, I don't think. He did a rhyming creature. Let's call him that.
Demon.
Yeah, Demon. Really good. Yeah, really a big favourite of mine. He did a lot of sort of event stuff as well. Some of the other ones, Darkseid versus Galactus, if you remember that. He did Spider-Man Chapter 1, which wasn't particularly well liked. He did X-Men The Hidden Years, if you remember that. Which is very like that new stuff he's brought out.
Yeah.
Danger Unlimited, which is just kind of an FF thing. Next Man.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Babe, which is just bizarre. Dark Horse
Don't
thing.
remember that.
FX, he did a lot of Star Trek at IDW, and he did All New Atom, amongst many other things. That's just sort of a little version of them. Where did you first encounter him, guys? Vince?
I mean, the interesting thing about John Byrne is like he's one of those creators that's like a big name creator for many people, like such a pivotal figure, certainly art wise, I think for many people, and it's another one of those creators where I didn't have a long-standing relationship of like reading certain comics, or I didn't read this run for John Byrne, or things like that. But when I was a kid, you get used to that style. Do you know what I mean? To the point where you recognise it without knowing who it is.
Yeah, he's so many comics that I read that I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was like, oh, I mean, that's John Byrne.
The way, like his Wolverine, the way he drew Wolverine, it's like, his Wolverine is almost like one of the ones I always think of.
Yeah.
I think nearly everyone's got to be like that, haven't they?
Yeah. And it's probably, for me, it's more the Marvel stuff than the DC stuff, because that's the way a lot of my reading was anyway. And like say, it wasn't until, I mean, it's when people mention it almost the memories and the visuals pop into my mind. Like as soon as Dan said Fantastic Four, bang, I can see his Fantastic Four in my mind. Like, oh yeah, of course. And he's one of those artists that for me is almost silently one of the biggest artists of all of these titles, if that makes sense. Like, oh, of course, yeah, he's one of the major Superman artists. Oh, of course, yeah, because he's one of the major Fantastic Four artists. Oh, yeah.
He is the She-Hulk artist. If I think of She-Hulk, I think of...
Yeah. The perm he did on her. Bloody hell.
He loved some hair, didn't he? He loved a big bush, as they like to say.
And she wasn't like... He didn't used to draw like fucking massive as fuck. She was just like... aerobically kind of fit.
Yeah, she was aerobically fit, but she was tall, wasn't she, compared to everyone else? Yeah, that was that. And I think that the She-Hulk is the distillation of a lot of his stuff for me.
I've got to say, I missed a lot of that Superman when he did the relaunch of Superman. I think because I was way more a kind of a Marvel kind of guy. I do remember kind of like in the early days getting a Cap trade. I must have only been like early teens. I think it was like War of Remembrance, and it had 4 issues of Cap in it, all drawn by John Byrne. And it had Cap for president. It had Cap versus Baron Blood and the Invaders, and a couple other stories in it. And that's when I sort of like keyed into his artwork. And you see, like, you read all these comics and you realize, fuck me, Byrne was in so much of this, and such a, like you said, Vince, he's kind of like a background character, but like a big character, and you didn't realize how much kind of space in the room he was taking up, and his kind of vision and creativity. What about you?
That's it. I just remembered another one. Sorry to jump in, but I've talked about. I just quickly looked it up. I said like one of the earliest issues I can remember was Marvel Team Up, where Spider-Man is with Thor, fighting like an Egyptian sort of god coming back and stuff. And I thought
that was in this little run as well.
And I just thought, and it suddenly clicked with me. Then, hang on, the way he draws faces, is that? And it totally was. John Byrne was one of the pivotal, like major fucking issues for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But carry on, T. Sorry.
No, you're right though. As an influence, he's an influence. The thing is, he broke in at the same time I was a kid and started getting bought comics. So there's kind of like I was kind of run through with him, as it were, rather than having to go back like it would be for me and maybe Kirby. I'd have to go back and find older stuff. But because he kind of broke in, I'd seen his stuff. I'm going to say maybe the Star-Lord or the Iron Fist stuff. But I remember X-Men just fucking... It's like a bomb going off when I saw it. Absolutely. And it was everything to me at the time. I would go looking for it in the local newsagents every single day to see if the new issue was there. And you got to understand, pre-internet, we didn't know when things were coming through. We didn't know what comics he's on. We didn't know where he's coming from. Anything like that. We didn't know where else he'd drawn. And it still remains probably up there, top 2, top 3 favorite runs of all time, the Dark Phoenix saga, and then leading up to it.
When we talk about like artists working with, we touched on it last week. Like writers have this sort of pivotal role, and then you think, oh shit, this artist, it was with them this whole way. That these works are great because of the combination of the two, and like. Looking back on it, when you see these comics, for me, he's probably the one that makes Chris Claremont's work sing on the comic page more than anyone else.
I agree.
Because Claremont, like, you see some of these pages and they're wordy fucking bitches. They are in the hands of anyone else. Doesn't work. It just doesn't fucking work. The issue that we're gonna like have fun talking about is quite wordy in its own way, but Byrne had a way of working with
they
it.
Became co-plotters as well quite early on in their run.
Worse on this one, right? That's when I opened up and I saw like co-plotted by Byrne and Claremont. I was like, I'm in for a good time here.
Yeah.
Hey, let's play influence bingo. I know what he says his influences are. See if you can guess some of his influences, guys.
This is going to be a tough one for me.
It's a real spread. Really interesting.
I want to... Oh, God.
Would he even say Kirby? Would he
Kirby.
He cite as an influence?
His Fantastic Four run can be seen as a homage.
Oh, God. Fucking... Hold on. Is it Kurt Swan? Is Kurt Swan one of them?
Not that I know of. Not from what he's... the interviews I've read. One you brought up last week, Vince. Drew a cover for you.
Oh, God, don't talk to me about last week. I can't remember what I said fucking this morning.
One is There's a lot of classic names here. One is a British cartoonist, newspaper cartoonist.
Are we talking like strips rather than just like the one panel type job?
Single panel.
Giles?
Gags.
No.
Giles.
Oh, is Giles one of them?
Wow,
Fucking hell, really?
Yeah, how weird.
Wow.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's
Wow.
big names. We've got.
Don't forget, he also did the Atom. This bloke's famous for doing the Atom.
Steve Ditko, Spidey.
Steve Ditko's one of them. Yeah. Stylistically, I can see something there, but a little different for me. I think 1, 2, 3. The other three, I think you can see immediately in his style.
Okay.
All massive names. One's got a brother. There's a clue for you.
Neil Adams.
Neil Adams, absolutely. That would have been my first guess, guys.
Yeah.
So much so.
Yeah. A lot of like facial structures and the way that is. I can see that.
It really is muscular. Yeah.
Muscular, sort of breadboard like fucking jaws and stuff like that. Yeah, but in a good way.
Yeah, you can see he does do a bit of strong cartooning, like Ditko. You know, you can see later. There's I think more when he's at DC than when he's at Marvel. But you can. I was chatting to Al Henderson about Elseworlds Superman Brits or something where he becomes, and it's full of caricature. It's full of like much more cartoony style than we get. Perhaps.
Is that the one written by John Cleese?
That's the one. That is the one. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. One thing like he does a lot. Is shadow. He brings shadow into the work more than
we're going to talk about in a minute.
A lot of people.
Bit where MJ appears out the back seat of the car. You can't do that anywhere else in the comics.
His lighting work is phenomenal.
Yeah, which is interesting because he's slightly colourblind. He's got a green brown.
Yeah.
He believed that Iron Fist's costume was in fact in brown.
Oh wow!
When he went to draw him,
I mean,
wow. Okay.
We've got two more. Come on, we've got two more left. Two more.
Oh God.
Sal's brother. And Howard Chaykin's mentor.
So we've got John Buscema.
John Buscema, very good. Yeah.
And who was the other one, Tony? What was
Howard
the other
Chaykin's mentor?
Oh.
Who had a nose? Yeah, famously had a nose job.
Me and Vince clutching our heads.
We talked about how he drew horses last week.
Steranko? No.
Not far. Not far.
How drew horses?
You had a Western comic, didn't you? You bought at the Mart.
Oh fuck. Oh bugger! I'll put it somewhere.
And you showed me the initials on the car.
Yeah.
Gil Kane.
Gil Kane. Oh yeah. Wow.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Also, whose stepfather was he for a while?
Yeah, well, are we talking in comics? We're just talking.
He's an comics artist, well-known comics artist for his Captain America work, amongst other stuff.
Captain America work.
Kieran Dwyer.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he lived with his mum for a while, quite a number of years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean just looking. I've just a basic Google beforehand. Tony, you've probably got this as well. Like some of the characters he's co-created.
Okay, go on.
Have you got this? So obviously he did a lot of stuff with the X-Men, as we all know. Can you name some of the characters that he co-created?
It's an interesting one because it's not the main Uncanny. So Kitty
Pryde's one of the ones. Yeah.
Because when you think the first lot came from Dave Cockrum.
Yeah.
White Queen.
Yeah. Emma Frost.
Yeah. All of the Hellfire Club.
Yeah. I'm literally just looking. This is just a Wikipedia where it's like, okay, the co-creating these characters. There was two later ones that really surprised me. Think of Wolverine.
Oh, is it Sabretooth?
Yeah, Sabretooth.
Okay. Fucking hell.
A character that was very much around Legion, especially the TV show.
Ooh.
A villain.
Shadow
King. The Shadow King.
Yeah.
And Rachel Summers, who was in Excalibur.
Yeah, of course.
But the two that caught my... This was the first of the list. Time Traveling X-Man.
Oh, Bishop.
Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop.
Yeah. And one of my favourite X-Men villains, Jim Lee...
Unis the Untouchable.
No, he was Kirby, I think, wasn't he?
I think they're Russian.
Omega Red.
Yeah.
Ah,
Co-created Omega Red, which I did.
Omega Red.
Yeah. Because he came back for a while and wrote for the X-Men as well. It all didn't turn out very well.
Yeah.
He came back after that.
Do you know why he did the next Men? What was the thing behind that?
No, I'm not sure. Although I suspect it was probably to take the piss, but it turned out right.
Yeah.
Next Men also was the first place that a certain red creature was published.
Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we said that a couple of weeks ago. That came out.
Interesting.
I will say though that to speak on John Byrne, obviously heaping praise on the legacy. There was also just some comics that just didn't interest me, like Next Men, never interested me. It just never, whenever I saw the pictures in, whether it would be like in a Comics International or Wizard, or it just looked a little unexciting.
I do remember
for me
the
personally.
promo for Next Men. They were all kind of, because they escaped from a facility, right? And they've all got like shaved heads and wearing like these one-piece suits, and I was like, not sure about that. But in the story, that actually makes sense because
It's a bit all over the place, but I quite enjoyed it. I was buying it monthly, I guess, is the difference. Yeah.
How long was that going for? Because it felt like it was going for that.
God, it's like 50 issues or something, wasn't it? I can't remember.
Bloody hell.
I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
I guess.
He's a workhorse, man.
Yeah.
But here's a question.
So interestingly, as well, created North Star to be gay, as well. He was created as the times are different, so he didn't overtly say it. But if you do you remember Alpha Pod Flight, which was Gareth Hopkins? He talks a lot about it on that as well.
Yeah, had great fun on those episodes.
He was coded gay.
Yeah. And can be credited, I'm not sure for what reason, as creating the first overtly gay superhero called Gay Man in the university newspaper.
So,
yeah.
See, there's kind of those things that we've kind of, in comics, we've always had kind of like gay, lesbian, bisexual characters throughout, and it's never been a fucking big deal. I don't kind of get it. I feel like the last 5 years you kind of get hit over the head with these characters saying, this is like...
basically the volume.
These years ago.
The volume of it changes. That's what it is. It's not the fact that whether they exist or not. Same with a lot of creeds, colours, whatever. Just. But Byrne's a funny one for me. Really, I think when we just were talking about doing this, and I look back, I enjoy his work more than I thought I did. Do you know what I mean? And that sounds weird because obviously he's a creator with a legacy. There's no, a proper legacy. I know he's a bit of a curmudgeon to put.
He's got a really kind of a bit of a.
When we talk about those comics that here's these iconic runs of these characters and stuff, it's fairly untouchable for me. That stuff. I could go.
He's easily up there for me.
Yeah, I could go. I could go back. I could go back and pick up an issue, and if that artwork's in there, it'll make me.
I'll give it.
I genuinely don't think he's better than when he's with Terry Austin. I think Terry Austin and him really bring out the best in each other.
I think I am definitely underrate him because we talk about him here, and I'm like, I love loads of this stuff. So.
Yeah, but as a creator, to bring up this sort of point of it, when was the last truly great John Byrne work? Obviously, we're talking about.
I read recently. I was reading his Elsewhen. I think he's absolutely fucking great.
Oh, that's the new. That's the new
thing.
New
yeah,
one.
But I go through little Star Trek phases. More less recently. But last year I went through a phase of reading a lot of the novels and stuff, and I fucking loved his Star Trek stuff. Yeah.
I think he's one of those creators that I don't think like digital colouring and stuff like that does anything for them. Do you know what I mean? That sort of, I love
the cuts and fade gradient stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like don't do that with that kind of work.
No,
I mean that could be said about many artists' work. Do you know what I mean?
But that bugs the shit at me when they try and do old comics and like recolor it, and it's like you've got kind of older style artwork and you've done the modern colouring, and it just clashes. It doesn't look good.
There was a point like years and years ago where I thought, oh yeah, that would be really cool. They can do that with the modern techniques, and then actually seeing it in practice, I was like, I don't like this.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't work.
We mentioned it. I'm not sure if you talked about it in the show, but definitely on our WhatsApp group about how like the Burns X-Men book is like being dropped into fertile ground because the readers are screaming out for X-Men stuff. They think they're not being getting delivered to or serviced by Marvel.
Certainly not.
And then you got fucking one of the greats bringing out kind of all this stuff, which is like almost the classic stuff. It's
Well, I almost
like,
feel like that's why people are kicking off. It's got nothing to do with his personal beliefs. It's just like he's just basically gone, this is how you do the X-Men.
yeah,
And you got all
that's
these people who are declaring themselves geniuses who just ain't getting it. And you got this
No.
geezer that walked in the room, dropped a book, walked out again, and they've gone,
yeah. And it's
how
just
fucking embarrassing is that for
yeah,
us?
just absolutely fucking
Yeah.
terrorized. There's no
Yeah.
absolute
just-
mic drop moment.
It's the old, I always tell the story, it's the old fucking judo master who goes up into the mountains to practice leg sweeps, comes down to the town of judo students and destroys them all with a leg sweep, and then thinks, well, I'm going to go back to the mountains and now learn shoulder throws. You know, he's just done that. He's just walked in, shown who the Grandmaster is. Everyone's fucking embarrassed. Isn't it?
I think it's also like the workhorse artist. I know things in comics are different now, but like Kirby was back in the day, and I think as you grow as a comics reader and you know more about comics history and you know the work that goes into it, you just think that those people that, you know, when people can barely put out a comic and these guys were in the bullpen doing 2 fucking issues of a
Not
title.
at least with him.
Yeah, I mean, I see here, like, in the late 70s, while he was a penciler on the X-Men, he began penciling the Avengers. Who on their fucking CV can say that they did those 2 comics at the same fucking time?
When those 2 comics were the biggest comics in the
Yeah,
world.
that's madness. You know, even if it's just a couple of issues that he did of like the Avengers or whatever, don't matter. He's doing fucking yeah, crazy.
Well, let's talk through Marvel Team Up 79, shall we?
Yes.
Yes.
Spider-Man and Red Sonja.
Strange pairing for me, right?
Yeah,
Wouldn't easily.
yeah, absolutely. Did you want to talk a little? Who wants to do the story? Anyone want to talk it through?
The sort of synopsis.
Yeah.
There's kind of, I presume they've got like, right, we've got Spider-Man, Red Sonja, we've got to try and make them meet somehow. But there's an exhibition in a kind of a museum, and the Night Watchman kind of gets kind of caught under a spell, puts on like an ancient kind of necklace and gets transformed into an ancient sorcerer.
Yeah.
Who starts casting this kind of blood magic. Spidey comes along to sort of cover it as part of his job.
Yeah.
Kalangoth, and then gets sucked into it. Mary Jane hops along for the ride, picks up a sword and turns into Red Sonja, and then it's Spidey and Red Sonja versus.
How suited are those 2 as to be sort of combined? I think it's just for years afterwards. I think, I wonder if she's still connected to MJ.
Yeah.
Because they're not dissimilar, are they? You know,
I didn't really clock, but when MJ comes along for the ride, and she like, I was like, is MJ going to turn into fucking Red Sonja? And when it did, I was like, fucking start.
The thing about this is also a Christmas issue. This happens around Christmas time. So, and I just need to clarify something, because the Daily Bugles is having a Christmas party. One of I immediately laughed because J. Jonah Jameson is talking to him.
Great.
And you go, oh, hello, JJ. Season's greetings to you, my boy. I trust you received your Christmas bonus. Sure, bro, Jonah, and I'm overwhelmed. A fella can always use an extra $10.
Yeah,
Except don't spend it all at once.
Do you know this is a bit?
But then
of a weird
she's
comment.
there. She's there. What is like?
She surprises him, didn't she?
Now, is she just visiting?
I think it's just popped in to see him.
Yeah.
I think it's just comics, isn't it? It's just story. Let's fit her into the story.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing to say, but I always like Byrne when he does solid blacks, or it's Austin really, isn't it?
Yeah.
When he fills in that solid, and something about Peter's jumper. I just fucking love that jumper.
That fucking,
that fucking
solid,
jumper cut me up when I saw it.
That's a proper Archie or fucking like Peanuts kind of jumper, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Pattern was
Who else is
like
at the
Wonder
party?
Man's.
Yeah, I'd wear a fucking jumper like that. Now.
Pop quiz. Who else is at that party?
You got Robbie there.
Come on. Who else is there?
Is that
Superman's
fucking
at the party?
Yeah,
Clarke
fucking
Kent's at the
I
party.
was just fucking. Oh
See?
yeah, because he goes.
What a
So
ledge,
so tell me, old buddy, how does it feel to be a mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan TV network?
And he was working for a TV station in
was
the DC
he?
Comics time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Red tie, blue suit, the lot.
And you've got the classic.
that's great.
You got the classic sort of tie into like stories. Was like I still say Jameson was a fool to fire Carol Danvers, star for details. See Miss Marvel,
See
number
Miss Marvel.
22. I love all that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is almost that's a warm blanket for me. Seeing those little boxes and those little stars, I'm like, more. I just love it.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm a man of loose morals, as you well know. But how sexy is MJ?
She's pretty.
I always put her head of Gwen by far.
Yeah. I mean, Gwen. I
'Cause-
mean, I just want to say, no disrespect, but Gwen was dead by the time I was reading comics, so she didn't exist to me at all.
It's back now.
See,
Back now.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's
who
written
cares?
like
Everyone's
as an
back in the end.
everyman character, isn't he? Like he kind of like the tries, but he kind of has a quite an unlucky life. Except when it comes to MJ, where
He's batting there, isn't
you go to your staff Christmas party just on the off chance, and your super hot model girlfriend is waiting for you with some mistletoe, and she forces herself on you. It's like that happens
Poor
all the
fella,
time.
poor old Peter.
Are they actually dating at the time?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because he's so
And-
sort of like just
Oh,
that's like
MJ, yeah.
God, she's here. Right, tell me this. There's another character in here because they get a call that something's happening at the museum. It is at the museum. They get a call. So Peter goes out. MJ sort of hides in the back seat. But who? And just fill in the gaps for me. Who is Charlie Snow?
I'm not 100% sure.
Apart from a
neither.
Des Lynam lookalike. He
Yeah.
looks like Des
Who
Lynam.
says, "Oi, flipping vey"? He says at
Yeah,
one
I
point.
love
Who
that
says that
fucking line.
line?
Yeah. And and they turn up and basically
Because they're the only two who ain't drinking. That's
yeah,
what I said. isn't it?
yeah. But Charlie Snow essentially he immediately gets pushed to the side because of the crowds. That's how you get rid of Charlie Snow.
Yeah, and I've got to tell you, having a press pass doesn't work like that. You can't run into a fucking building that's mystically on fire because you've got a press pass.
Tell me this. At this point in time, I don't think I've ever thought about this before. Can Peter Parker drive? Because Charlie,
Yeah, he had a Spidey mobile, didn't he?
he's got a Spidey-mobile, but does he ever drive a normal
Is he
car?
a licensed vehicle operator?
Because obviously Charlie Snow is driving the car, and I just suddenly thought, how many times have I seen Peter Parker drive a car? I mean,
Let's
obviously there's
see
the
what Google says.
Spidey-mobile and all of that stuff, but I just suddenly thought, oh, interesting.
From a point of view of art as well, I do love the way that the building is sideways in that panel. You can't.
Oh, with
It
the
wouldn't
sort
really
of
work in any way, but he's fitting it in, isn't
the red sort of panel with the sort of
Yes, and the building is sort of slightly
yeah.
tilted, isn't it?
What I love about this, and you know, eventually he puts on the Spidey costume, goes in to try and figure out what's going on. There are eldritch beasts, as there is with all of like the Robert E. Howard, like that sort of the Red Sonja type stuff. That's all in there, but like it's still. I don't know. There's just an energy about it. They just keep it moving like really quickly. It's just really well done, I think.
This is just a fun comic, is it, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Dan.
go on, Dan.
Sideline. Traditionally, Peter Parker can't drive. There's an episode, a story where the Torch builds him a Spider-Mobile, and Peter nearly crashes it because he's got no experience behind the wheel.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And now I think we've all learned it. And knowledge
there you
is power.
go. Nice
But
little shower thought there, V.
And another thing about this with and I think it's Byrne's artwork. The way that this moves and is paced, feels like a classic Conan comic.
Like a one-off story.
Yeah, you know,
Gosh, yeah,
because
yeah.
I love picking up those old. I know you're a big fan of the Marvel Conan stuff, Tony. But
Yeah.
you know, when you pick up, it feels like it's got the same rhythm and sort of.
There's a nod to him in this, and right when Red Sonja's like, "Oh, you're as strong as
That's
like
right.
a Sumerian,
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
no, not half the size."
Yeah, because MJ basically picks up a sword, as we just said, and it turns it into Red Sonja, basically like the Sword of Omens, like just turns her into Red Sonja. But, and this took me a little bit, they can't understand each other.
No,
That's almost like a first for comics at the time, isn't it?
Yeah. Because
and that's kind of the point of it.
But there's no brackets. There's no brackets. There's no nodding. There's no telling the reader, oh, this person's speaking a different language. They're literally talking at each other like two people who don't know what the other's saying.
yeah.
How great is that entry page for her though?
That was great.
Oh,
amazing.
Absolute athleticism and everything in that.
Yeah. The
She's kind of got
body,
like the kind
weight of the body is great in
the,
that panel. Yeah.
the cowed eyes have kind of like she's got like heavy black eyeliner, which kind of give her like an intensity, like a fury as the character, which she's famous for, obviously.
I know. And immediately she wants to try and kill Spider-Man, who's fucking lucky. He like she's taking on baddies, and he sweeps her away as he has swept away many a woman before, and she's like essentially going, "Get the fuck off me! I'm trying to kill something."
You're an idiot.
And he's bloody lucky that she uses the pommel of the sword to hit him in the head, because she's been slicing everything up in this issue up until that point.
But she does kind of fuck it up, doesn't she? Because she then gets some semi-crucified being dropped into a sort of cosmic pit.
I tell you what, that angle, that shot,
Right,
there's like a top-down shot of these two on an X-Men crucifix. Do you know what I mean? We were very used to those sort of crucifixions in comics.
There is a line that Spidey comes up with, like when the magic's all kicking off. He essentially says, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go get Doctor Strange," which I was like, excellent, because I love those kind of like, this is way out of my field.
Yeah,
like, I know.
Well, you didn't get that much. His Marvel Team Up was one of the best places for that crossover thing, obviously. But the Sarah pools, which is the thing he's been dropped into, appeared previously in Giant Size Dracula #2, and would appear again in Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme 41. So that's interesting. So it's kind of there's a bit of continuity around them as well.
Yeah.
In continuity, dependent on what you view as continuity, Red Sonja hadn't met Kulangarth at this time.
Okay.
She meets him later, but of course you don't know at which point she comes back in time to meet. Or she goes forward in time to meet Spidey, and then goes back again to where she lands. But later on in the Spider-Man Red Sonja series, they meet him again, which is many years later.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a bit complicated. Also tied up into the fact that Marvel doesn't have the Red Sonja license anymore. Dynamite have it. At one point they're putting out like 4 Red Sonja comics a month. And which means this is the reason that this is now not available on the Marvel app.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's worth. I tell you what, it's great comics though, and I especially, I love all the sound effects in this. A nod to a Polish city in one of them. Have you seen that page where it just goes Krakow? One of the sound effects. I love all that stuff. But in terms of like the lighting and stuff that Byrne does, because he's dealing in black and white as well, because other people are colouring it. The page that I stared at for quite some time, and we've talked about, I've actually I've copied this sort of movement thing when Spidey is avoiding the blasts of the sorcerer, and the lighting, he's just dodging like a sort of, let's call it a laser blast for ease, and he's like swooping over the top of it, but the lighting of that blast is lighting up Spidey's costume. It looks fucking brilliant. And you can still see the movement of the figure. There's 4 Spideys leading to the main one that's now. I love that. Absolutely.
Obviously,
love that.
there's a little bit of this that comes back in the day from EC comics and stuff, but as they all would have learned from that. And I kind of don't know who did this, who returned to this style first, whether it was Miller or him at this point, because they're kind of contemporaries.
Okay.
Pretty much. And this would have been something that very much Miller was using in Daredevil around the same time as well, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah, Bernie Krigstein obviously was the person that Miller speaks about quite a lot about doing it. But yeah, really, really nice little style, and really works well in a comic like this, doesn't it? That bouncing across the ceiling and out of the way. Yeah, gorgeous, really gorgeous.
Byrne does a really good. He does a really good Spidey mask.
He really does. Yeah. He does. He's one of my favourite Spider-Men. I know it's a bit there's a bit of John Romita in there for me. Yeah. John Romita Senior somewhere.
Yeah, totally. Because I'm thinking of the one that used to be, the animation of that Spider-Man landing on the. Yeah. And it had that mask, and I think it was based on John Romita, but this looks like John Romita's Spider-Man.
He's made a lot of work for the inker in this. If you look to the point where they get outside and it's all light and buildings inked in the that's such an amazing panel.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Think of how
Spidey,
much...
Red Sonja have not the sorcerer outside, and there's the whole news crew, the police, all these lights, people up on cranes looking down on the scene. And it's like they've got like a blue in the shadow yellow where the spotlights are on them.
But all the buildings are lit up.
Yeah, it's
all the
lovely
way
stuff.
across, and it's. I mean that there's no way an artist wouldn't make that a double page spread these days.
Yeah,
There's also
part of a page.
There's also commentary on New York of the time. Sonja just says, "The air so foul it chokes me. Truly, this is a city of the damned."
Damned.
Do you know what I mean? They totally call it out of being, this place is a shithole and polluted.
Yeah. Interesting as well about the he punches him, doesn't he? And she's surprised to find out that he's grabbed the
amulet thing.
Yeah, the amulet that's sort of transformed him from the security guard. That appears later on in an X-Men issue. Comes back.
Oh, really? Because he kind of like he's got it, and he's like he starts hearing the ancient voice trying to figure out. He lobs it in the sea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
I mean, I do think when he lobs it into the sea, I just think that's a rookie fucking error there. Why has he done that? Like, why the fuck has he done that? Could have landed on a shark.
You see Chris Claremont putting that to the side, making a little note, saying, "Right, let's go back to that one day."
And there's the beautiful final panel of the story where you see Red Sonja within the clouds above New York City. The clouds of pollution, clearly, in New York City. I mean, this is a wonderful example of these sort of books for me, like the tales, the 2-in-1s, the team ups, whatever it may be. It's a perfect one and done, just an absolute spot on.
Just fun.
Yeah, it's like that classic monster of the week, adventure of the week, whatever it may be. It's just you get in, you get exactly what you need, and it's all tied up at the end.
Yeah,
I think
for me that's Spidey Adventures. That's what I see Spidey Adventures like.
Yeah, I think I may have read this as the Winter Special, the Marvel UK version first. Maybe.
Right, okay.
I do own it in its original copy now, but which I think works perfectly as just a Winter Special. And the thing is about not all of the Marvel team-up issues, but a lot of them, and Marvel 2-in-1 as well, work like that. They were just standalones, and they were designed that way, and I think it works perfectly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When was it originally published? Was it 76?
79.
79.
Yeah, hell. 35 cents it was.
And also the splash page at the beginning, which is Spidey just swinging by. Is that the museum he's swinging by?
Yeah, so you can then you see in page 2, you see through the window outwards again.
Yeah,
you can see Spider-Man, which is such a lovely touch. But that whole framed by the moon thing, fucking love it. Absolutely love that.
Does he
if
still?
If you do Earth 2 podcast, you have to take a drink. By the way,
does Spider-Man still do a Spider-Man backpack? Like a
I'm
web backpack.
Can't remember the last time I saw that.
He always used to do that, didn't he? He always used to put all his stuff in a web and just put it on a backpack on his back.
Yeah.
Like his lunchbox and his Dairy Lee Lunchables and stuff like that.
Can we talk about the cover for a moment? Because it's a strange cover.
Wonderful use of negative space. The classic use of negative space.
It looks like there's been a sticker there that's been peeled off almost to me.
Really?
Yeah. It's just I don't know why they did the white. Why is it in white? So for those that can't see it, on the right you've got Spider-Man fighting some demons, and on the left you've got Red Sonja swinging at what is Kulan Garth. I suppose they didn't want to surprise them, but he hadn't been in the comic. I don't know.
You wouldn't know.
I think it's that sort of blank that we're so used to seeing words in the middle of it, saying who is this mystery person, like Sword of the She-Devil, kind of could have been in there. It's
Yeah, so
listeners, if you're thinking, what does this look like? You can go to Internet Archive, and there's a free scanned edition for you to read. The quality is not great, but you can read it there. Now, as far as I can think, I know, like the stuff on Internet Archive is good, okay to look at. You're not fucking people out of money or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that I had to laugh at was the corner box. I'm just sending it to you just in case you're reading the Marvel Tales version there, guys. Is the corner box top left is obviously the normal Spider-Man head. Why have they chosen that picture, Rich?
Oh God! She looks like
she
was on the toilet and Spider-Man's head just popped out.
He's surprised her with his floating head. The other thing, I don't know if you've got this on your version, but Marvel's TV sensation, top right, on the cover.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Because it was while the Marvel TV series was going, I'm guessing.
Wow.
Which you guys don't remember. Nicholas Hammond played Spidey.
Oh, I do remember watching the first episode of that. Yeah. I've seen some of the fight bits on YouTube. It doesn't hold up too well now, unfortunately.
Yeah, he does a kind of weird climbing thing. Yeah.
That bit when there's these three samurai guys and they're about to hit him and he jumps on the ceiling and starts crawling. As a kid, I was like, "This is fucking amazing." Even though there's a big hole in the ceiling where the cable is holding him up, It was fine.
Yeah.
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 It was kind of kitschy, but I kind of dug it.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, what I like about this, what we did here as well, is rather than looking at like all these classic titles or classic, it's when you think about these classic creators, look at some of these one and done issues that they did for stuff like that. That's when you see probably a lot of overlooked storytelling, because there's so much storytelling in this that I never would have seen, never been aware of, and yeah, I'm looking at it going, oh yeah, I can see people that have been inspired by that, or I can see where, oh, I've picked up this, I picked it off someone who's picked it off this, that kind of thing.
To put this entirety of this story in a single issue with Spidey and Sonja meet up in a
it's a night at the museum. It's a night at the museum kind of thing, isn't it?
It's like fucking hell. You really can't. Like, so you ain't got time for a double page spread or half page.
Yeah, they meet,
absolutely.
they fight, they come together, and then they beat the bad guy.
End of.
And she fades back into wherever.
I would listen to her fight down a walkie-talkie, though, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
She probably wouldn't know what it was because it'd scare her.
Yeah, probably.
A walkie-talkie.
Have you seen Peter's last words? He's sort of thinking as like that last panel goes, "The wizard almost had my soul, but his amulet's at the bottom of the bay now. With luck, it will never harm anyone ever again."
Claremont.
That's just fine. Amulet that takes people's soul. I'll just leave it at the bottom of the river.
Peter Parker. Peter Parker, the most intelligent.
Some demon fish arrives.
Yeah, he's the most intelligent idiot in all of comics. He's fucking.
It's not as if anyone comes out of that water, is it, and fights people? Not as if there's an undersea kingdom.
Yeah. Probably be fine.
Yeah. So this was great, and
happy birthday tomorrow.
Yeah. Or today.
Or today.
Yeah.
When John listens to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check out. I mean, some of our listeners are no doubt big fans of John Byrne.
You should be.
Yeah. But
what's your favourite John Byrne?
Yeah, let us. Yeah, keep the conversation going. Yeah, whether it be on the Slack or the email, we'll put all the links at the end of the show. But no, it was good. I love doing stuff. It's like when we do the Christmas issues. Do you know what I mean? And just picking up a sort of random issue. It's just good fun.
Didn't realise this was a Christmas issue.
No, I just remember it being really good. I couldn't remember it was Christmas.
Yeah. But it's one of those classic Christmas tales that it can be read all year round. There are some Christmas comics that you have to read at Christmas and they don't work any other time. You can read this any time of year. Absolutely any time. Yeah.
You could probably strip out the Christmas element and it would still.
There's very little Christmas element, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it really? It's a funny. I kind of regretted choosing it when you guys went, "Oh, I can't really find it anywhere."
It was a bit of a battle to try and find one, but
thank you, mate.
That one.
Yeah. But if you go into a comic mart, as we've talked about comic marts recently, pick this one up.
There's worse places to look than Marvel Team Up. There's some great stuff in Marvel Team Up. There really is.
Yeah. I think I might. Next time I'm at a mart, I might pick up a couple of things like that because lovely one and done. Do you know what I mean? That you can just read on the way home or just whenever.
I started up where Spider-Man was going to share it with the Human Torch, believe it or not. But it's I think Spider-Man became more popular and took over. But there's some Miller in there, there's some Byrne, there's some gorgeous stuff. The Howard the Duck issue, I love that issue. It's really good.
Nice. So from John Byrne to a very interesting and topical question that Dan Butcher wants to pose to us.
You can touch it. Yeah. After all the events of this week with Sony and PlayStation, it got me thinking, say comic publishers were, for whatever reason, we're not going to print comics anymore. Comics are only going to be delivered digitally via an app or whatever. Would you still... You can't collect comics anymore, essentially. That's done. Would you still read comics?
You could still collect old comics, I guess.
Yes,
yeah.
But I still would read them 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read quite a lot digitally now anyway. It would be a shame, but I'm sure the floorboards in my comic room would be pleased. I still would.
I'd be kind of disappointed because I'd want books, collections of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be real.
It'd be disappointing, undoubtedly.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of layers to this sort of question, isn't it? Like if one company says, right, we're not doing this and but there are other people that are. There's the independents and the small press. If it was across the board, everyone just stopped printing comics, That's a different question. But if one I mean, I'm reading, as you all know, listeners. Like, most of mine's digital reading, and then I'm usually double dipping, or if I'm at a mart or at a Comic Con or something like that, you know, I'll pick up some physical.
Well,
issues.
say Marvel and DC said we're not making physical comics anymore. You got to read them via our app.
The thing about that is, and this is going to sound, you know, harsh, grumpy old man sort of, you know, getting on a soapbox. So I'm not going to go on about it too much. Is that I'm not reading the modern stuff anyway. The joy I'm finding with that from those two companies is in the older stuff. So for me, I'd be like, that's no skin off my nose. It does absolutely nothing for me because I'm not enjoying what you're doing at the moment anyway. So I'll pick up. I like Tony, like you said, Tony. Perfect example. I'll go to the long boxes. I'll pick up the old books. I'll pick up the old comics. That's where I'll find the joy.
Without the physical sales, do you think the actual industry would be able to? I mean,
So
obviously you've got
probably
print costs.
comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be reading comics by people who'd probably be doing it for half. Would have to do it in the evenings when they got another job on the go, I suspect.
Yeah.
Which is probably a lot of people anyway.
Well, they're saying digital sales make up for about 20-25% at the moment, something like that. Still not much.
Right.
Digital sales have been going for longer than this podcast has been going.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing there of like a digital product being always, maybe this is subjective, but it's always seen as a lesser thing as the physical.
Ephemeral as well.
Yeah, it's this
you know, I'm always saying I don't want to pay the same price for a digital as I would for a physical. You know,
A lot of people don't want to pay anything for a digital.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's a big
Yeah.
problem. I mean, there was a lot of the readerships going on about when a couple of weeks ago the read comics online that went down, and people were like, "Well, I'm going to read my books then." So maybe buy the fucking things.
That's the dodgy one.
Yeah, the really big one.
Yeah,
it went down.
Wow. That's when I always used to occasionally see people go, "Oh, I'm reading this," and they'd left the fucking bit at the bottom.
The graphic at the bottom.
Yeah. The thing that gets me as well is the thing about digital is if you own it digital, you do not own it digital.
No.
Essentially, when we own digital stuff, we own the license to be able to read it.
So it's different when you get like small press and they send through like a CBR file or a PDF file. You've got it then.
You've got
like,
it.
Yeah. But when it's on like an app,
if it's on an app or a storefront, you're essentially. I mean, going back to Sony, Dan, like when they said, okay, there was a lot of movies, like 500 movies disappeared from their library because
studio.
Was it Warner Brothers? I say something like that. They no longer have the license to have those films.
It's still gone.
So if you had bought films by that studio, gone, just absolutely gone. You don't have it anymore.
I think more
people need to be savvy about that because whenever
consumer laws need to be brought in about that. There's no way you should be able to buy a product and then they take it away and you're left. Yeah. Well, too bad, mate. You're fucked. That's wrong.
Because it's almost a streaming model for something you're actually buying, isn't it? You know, I mean, with some of these streaming models, we understand. Okay, it's on here for a certain amount of time, and then it goes. But if you're buying it, you would think, oh, I always sort of have it. And it's the same with comics. That used to be we've even talked about it on the show before, like with Comixology and stuff like that. We were like, oh, what happens if this goes down or it changes hands? What happens to the issues that we've bought? That we've actually bought, what happens to those digital files?
I've got stuff on Comixology, which is now Kindle, right?
Yeah,
I've
Kindle.
got stuff that's disappeared off there because I didn't bother doing the re-up thing.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So you just need to be careful with it. But I think I'd still be reading. I'd still be reading comics. The nature of comics is changed a lot anyway, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's that with web comics and stuff like that, people only read web comics, and that's
it's very strange industry.
It's
very bizarre.
But in that, I think one of the interesting points on that question that you've asked, Dan, is what is the knock-on effect for the stores, for the industry that it is. That would be that'd be catastrophic. Surely
catastrophic.
That'd be catastrophic for comic book stores all over.
But people would they even get into comics anymore? I'm not sure how many people go into the stores that haven't been and then suddenly get into comics, but the kind of exposure would drop. It just seems very niche, right? Like we've seen that the films and the animated series don't actually translate into people picking up the fucking comics.
I think
so
it's become the opposite, isn't it? People think they're a Spider-Man fan because they watch Spider-Man
'cause
movies.
I've
They
seen
consequently
fucking
think they don't have to read the comics.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
hard to describe
Because
the
the-
length and
because
breadth
the
of that
character,
idiocy.
yeah, the
Not in all
character,
cases, but
the character sometimes goes beyond its origins. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, people seem to think. I mean, Spider-Man is such like a behemoth of an IP. I hate calling it IP, but do you know what I mean? That's what he's become. You know, we know him and we love him for the classic comics that we read, but since then, you know, video games, cartoons, movies, toys, you name it. It goes beyond that wonderful thing where it started. I hope people go back and discover it. You know, I hope there are people still like
But
giving
just to think, as simple as this, going back and reading that comic is like,
yeah.
this is fucking almost magical for me.
Yeah.
It's such
Yeah.
a lovely experience.
And those sort of comics as well, I will say, you know, you can give, you know, fairly all ages. Yeah, I know she's a sexy lady, but
No, it's fine.
there's absolutely
all
nothing.
superhero women are pretty much.
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah. There's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that argument about any Wonder Woman comic you pick up. In all
Yeah,
honesty.
yeah. And Spidey was usually, it used to be quite good at that anyway. Like, even if you're like, oh, I'm not going to give them a Punisher book, or oh, blimey, this Daredevil's quite grim. Spidey was one of those ones that like you can give that to your kids for the longest time, wasn't it?
It should be. That's
Yeah.
what, you know.
Yeah,
Same with Superman. It should be.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
yeah. I will say. I mean, following on from that, what characters do you think we don't need darkness in? Do you know what I mean? The grim and gritty, obviously.
It's all down to how it's done, isn't it? Sometimes. God.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's almost. Yeah.
Well, there'd be people that would say that they don't want the grim and gritty stuff in Batman, and they prefer the kind of the lighter touch. I
campy
guess
stuff,
it's
yeah.
massively subjective. It's
Yeah. I think because it's when you see those.
Hilda.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Don't
too
need
gritty.
that.
That's too gritty for me.
Yeah.
I always like the kind of the Archie, the fact you can have Punisher and Predator and whatever, and it doesn't seem to.
Yeah.
Right,
Maybe
it's
the
fine.
Moomins.
It's like, the Moomins.
I tell you what, Archie is something I have very little experience of. You know,
Yeah.
bar a few issues here and there, or like, you know, something that was possibly in the zeitgeist or PR'd or whatever. I think possibly, you know.
I think it was a big
as-
American thing, right? 'Cause in
yeah,
the UK
exactly.
It was an
For
absolute
the-
non-entity.
Sort of supermarket one, wasn't it?
So
Yeah.
for the UK, maybe we should do okay. Let's see what this is about, because Archie is one of the biggest fucking comic series of all time.
Dennis the Menace. Do we need a similar to that, isn't it? Dennis the Menace. Do we need a grim and gritty one? Yeah, we got it. We got the boys.
Yeah.
The boys
Yeah.
used to
He's-
fucking go on.
That's Dennis the Menace and his dog.
I think that
Asher.
theory holds out.
Yeah, I think it does too.
I mean, you can say we like Archie. It's no fucking get along gang. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, Richard Sheaf, early shout
Another
out.
shout,
He,
another
he,
shout out for
he collected comics issue 4 of Get Along Gang. He sourced the cover for it, and it's on the blog. So
Yeah.
do go
He
check
gives
that
you a
out.
little shout out, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Oh,
fan
so-
favorite. Yeah.
Speaking of which, this has been great fun, but the show must go on. Show must go. That's the second time I've sung during this week. Do we have any shout outs, gents?
Ooh, I've got a few.
Yeah.
Don't forget that American Nature 4
Oh,
is out on the 15th
Yay.
of July. Just $3.95 if you order it from Forbidden Planet, rather than the £6.20 you'll have to pay from elsewhere. So go order it. Go pre-order it. Mystic, the end of part 1, which is the really excellent Bronze Age fueled webcomic by our friend Matt Bunce. The end of part 1 approaches, and he's looking to start up on part 2. So it's a good time to get on board. So look up Mystic, Mystik, on Substack, and you'll find it. I've done a Mega City Book Club with Eamonn, and we're talking about In Waves, and it's coming up in maybe a week or two. So look for that as well.
that's Eamonn Clarke of the Mega City
Book Club, yeah.
which you should
Yeah.
listen to because it's brilliant.
Definitely, he's been on there a number of times. I've been on there. We've all been on there a number of times.
Birch, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great podcast. It's always one of my favourites. The Don was on it last weekend, which is another brilliant one. Richard. So there you go. They're my ones.
Damn, what have you got?
I've got a couple. First one being Zinezilla Arts Fair. Saturday, 12th September, 11:30 till 6:30. That's at the Trinity Centre, Bristol. Zinezilla _Bristol on Instagram. You can look up more of the details there. we've got Comics Assemble for our friend Shane Chesney. A democratic celebration of comics by creators, August 15th, 2026, at the Gloucester Leisure Centre.
Nice. There were some people when I went to the Newport Comic Fair. There was a couple of stores there that were selling tickets for that because they were going to be there. So,
okay.
Yeah. Nice one.
You've got art coming up as well next weekend, which is in Peckham somewhere. I can't be fucking bothered to go to Peckham. But there you go. I think Falpy's running the Strangers table at it, and Rachel.
Isn't Gareth Hopkins there?
Gareth, I'm sure he will be. Yeah, there's a few
excellent.
people. The sort of Gosh crew is kind of running it, I think.
Nice one.
For that one.
Shah Book 2, Soul Wound by Pat Mills and Oliver DeJoy. Detective Duffy's search for the truth drives her deeper into the darkness at the heart of New Eden. But is she incriminating herself? Find out back that. I think, it has launched already. The Gods and Monsters of Headgrave, an original graphic novel. 120-page original graphic novel telling a complete story of aliens, madness, conspiracy, Nazis, and family in pre-World War II England. The money just went up as I was looking at that page.
Oh, nice.
Like it did. Like I was in the Matrix. It just flickered.
Quite a few people in the Slack about that, and so should you. Yeah.
Yes. And the Odysseus comic we spoke to a couple of weeks ago, that campaign is now live too. So do go check that out. And I think that brings us all up to speed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well-oiled machine. That's what we are. And without further ado, we've been reading some comics or checking some stuff out, and we think you should check some stuff out as well. So it's time for the recommendations part of the show. Tony, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I'm going to go first, I think, with Death Metal Duck by Justin Heggs and Cam Hagen.
Cover of this is fucking Hayden, gorgeous, and not just because it's foil.
Metal, love it.
It's gold embossed black on black hardback. No dust jacket, straight to cover. As always, black and white interiors. It's musically dedicated. See if you get this, you're a metalhead, Vince. Finnish musician Alexi Laiho, who sang in Children of Bodom.
Oh yeah, Children of Bodom. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, classic.
I do actually know them, listeners. By the way, I'm not just saying that's not me taking the piss.
Yes. Children of Bodom.
Yes. I like their earlier output. Anyway, yeah.
And Duck Inspiration, dedication is to Steve Gerber, who we only just mentioned earlier and last week. Some of the logos are by Wolf Spider. Thanks again to Cam. Cam always sends me his stuff, and I always absolutely love getting it, and it's brilliant. And he sent this through, and it's probably his spiffiest book yet, I'm going to say, although he's only the artist.
Looks fucking amazing.
It is really good. The interiors are just black and white, but so good.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Consistent.
Lovely. The quality on that paper and print is fucking really nice.
Yeah, really good, isn't it? Yeah, really good. 76 pages, black and white interiors. Curtis, I've written that. It looks like another word, but it's Curtis is a dad. He's a little bit lost, and he's on his second wife. He's got from his first marriage. He's got a son who's at college. Good kid. Curtis is kind of a good guy, but he's not one of life's winners in a way. He's good with his kids, but you could say he's a bit of a flaky dad, but he's trying not to be. And he also had a pretty popular thrash metal band called Puke Hammer as well. Right. The band broke up years ago, but they still he still makes a few quid from T-shirts, and he's always getting recognised in the local news agents. I think he's reading a porn magazine when two kids recognise him. He's reading something. And oh yes, did I forget to say, everyone in this is a duck, which is kind of cool. Curtis is not the kind of duck to live off past glories, although kind of occasionally he's forced into it. And like every dad, he's just kind of living his life and getting on with it and trying to do his best. There's a bit he gets called. So he's in a new town with this kid, and he gets called. He goes to the school gates to collect his kid, and there's this duck head mistress, sort of stern older duck woman, staring at him disapprovingly, and he ends up getting called into her office. And he's been told off for the lyrics in Puke Hammer songs from over a decade ago. And he's saying, well, what can I do? I can't do anything about it. I wrote them all that time ago. He doesn't take it well. He gets a bit upset. And he has a few regrets, as we all do. And then something happens. And maybe it's going to turn his life around a bit. And maybe he's going to be back with some old people again. I won't ruin it because it's really good. And this is genuinely a little bit of a heartwarming story. It's just nice. It's so even though it's full of fucking ducks, it's so real. You know, there's a genuine trying to get on with your older son. I've experienced that.
That's the classic, that wonderful thing about comics where they tell true human stories that are more human because they're anthropomorphic or they're animal. We're seeing them through the eyes of animals, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, and maybe I think for some people that helps them connect and emote. You know, because
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it is in how you do it, isn't it? But
yeah,
there's some lovely bits in it. What he does do is they do is they have flashbacks, but there's no like 18 years ago whilst in the band. You know, there's none of this going on.
Yeah,
it just flashes back, and you know where you are by the way people look and the way they're acting. So the writing and the art is on point for me on this. It's really well done. He's really good with facial, again, fucking ducks, but the facial acting is really good. Well, I talked about that bit a moment ago where the school mistress is looking across at Curtis and she's very disapproving of him. It works perfectly. He doesn't need any words. You can just tell. There's a bit with the there's a big double page spread towards the end of live music, and I think, fuck me, how long could that have taken, Cam? But it's gorgeously done. And genuinely up there with one of my favourite books of the year so far. Really nice surprise. Great. Cam's kind of a little bit. I think he's from Canada, isn't he, Cam? He's at TCAF recently, but he kind of does comics that I kind of get and I dig, and are not dissimilar to what me and Falpy are doing. And you know, we saw these sort of short story short comics that he's done and stuff, and they're really well done, and they always make me laugh, and they're always out there, and some thoughts gone into them, and they're a little bit transgressive. And this one, we were emailing backwards and forwards, and he was talking a bit about the heart that the writers put into it, but they both put into it. But it's really good. It's from Black Panel Press. You can find it at blackpanelpress.com. Interesting site. Not heard of them before. Lots of good-looking books on there, I've got to tell you. Music is performed there's a QR code, and you can go and listen to Ghost Factory, who are a little bit my street, and The Cadaver Dog, which I'm going to say a little bit more up Vince's street.
Nice.
So reading to that,
I love the name Ghost Factory for a band. That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, they're a bit of a sort of twiddly Americana kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, still pretty good. Cam Hayden, you can find at Lance Goiter, LanceGoiter, Lance Goiter. Justin Heggs, you can find at Justin Heggs, Heggs. It's now on sale. Go find a copy. I suspect you can just get it through the website if you're in the States, or we'll try and find out where you can get it from here. But Death Metal Duck, just the title, I thought, oh, Death Metal Duck, it's going to be a sort of gag thing, funny thing. But no, it's a nice story. It's all right. It's up there with like something like Box Office Poison for me, in real emotions, but in a cartoony way.
Nice.
My first one was.
Nice. I'll jump in with the second one. It's a title that I was kind of, when I heard about it, I was interested in checking it out as soon as it came out, and when it did come out, I was unaware of it and I missed it. And now a couple of months, there's 3 issues of it now, so I was like, fuck. So I had to go back and I found that the first issue is now £1.50 on Comixology. So I thought, that's quite nice, because then I can test it out and see what it's like. This is an Image book, Corpse Night. Have you seen this about? This is by Michael Chavez, creator and the writer, Matthew Roberts, creator and artist, Rico Renzi, colorist, Pat Brosso, letterer, holder, Andre Juarez is the logo design. That's a cool looking fucking logo as well.
Yeah, the first issue was quite hot stuff in the back issue kind of market stuff.
And the first issue is a really lovely first issue. I read it without looking at the synopsis or anything. I'll read the synopsis in a moment, but like just the artwork of Matthew Roberts, who there's a page at the back where Michael Chavez, who is a film director, who worked on, he's done a lot of he did visual effects, but some may know him for directing The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, The Nun 2, and the Conjuring Last Rites. So he's done the last 2 Conjuring movies.
Are they any good, those Conjuring movies? Do I need to watch them?
I love the first one, and then I don't think you really need to bother. But I tell you what, one thing, that franchise in its total was made like $1 billion or something like that.
Is it related to Paranormal Activity, or am I imagining?
No, completely different. Yeah. But of course,
Is
it has
the nun about a sexy nun?
It has spawned a universe. No, it's a demonic nun, which
Well, it can be sexy.
sounds cooler than it was. The first film's bloody awful. Anyway,
Nuns scare me anyway.
But from the letter at the back, Michael is a comics reader, and he's talking about seeing the artwork of Matthew Roberts and stuff, and they work together on this stuff. So it's a nice, when you read something, you think, someone who actually reads comics as well as want them to make one, rather than just here's a movie I wanted to get off the ground. But what is Corpse Night? Well, it's a mini-series. I presume it's only going to be like 4 or 6 issues. But as war ravages France, a young girl named Foy lives in relative peace with her father until tragedy strikes. As Foy struggles to fend for herself, she's granted a miracle. Her father returns from the dead to protect her. Now they embark on a sacred quest, confronting murderers, wild animals, wandering armies, and black magic plaguing the countryside. As Foy comes face to face with the dark side of miracles and the secrets of the Corpse Night, she must question if the man by her side has always been a monster. It's just fucking badass. I mean, that setup is the classic, someone coming back from the dead kind of thing. It's and the comic sings familiar notes that we know, but it's in the telling. And I will say, Rico Renzi, it looks great and it reads really well. I just want to put an extra shout out to the colorist, because the colors on this are one of the things that make it sing. I mean, clearly digital colouring, but when you have a book like Corpse Night, you think, it's going to be black and death metal and stuff like that. No, this is colourful. I also knew nothing about it going in, so when it was like medieval France and like Joan of Arc and stuff like that, that was a story quest and line.
I thought it was a video game or something. It's not that, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. When I saw the title, I thought, is that a video game?
Yeah, it feels like it. I know exactly what you mean. But going into it, it's just it seems like a badass sort of medieval adventure story. The tragic scene happens at the beginning. The father dying, but it looks really it's just really well done. And it's a lot of there's a bit about faith. There's an absolute badass design for the armor that the knight eventually wears. But spoilers, first issue is more the setup for that, and some of it feels very EC comics as well. Like you got there's a big splash page of a hand rising from the grave with lightning striking. It's hitting those classic horror sort of tropes, but does it in a really cool way. There's a bit of gore, and it's just I was really quite impressed. I will say, I might wait for the trade to see what the entire story's like. I really enjoyed the first issue, but I might see if there's a collection.
Who published this? Sorry again.
This is Image. So
Image, right? Okay.
Yeah. But it's obviously clearly something that there's care that's in the story, and by the end. It's a little girl and a sort of undead behemoth, sort of like fucking zombie knight, which looks really badass. When you see like where the armor comes from, because the cover looks just really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I hope it delivers on the initial high start of the. I know it's had a couple of issues since, and if any listeners out there have read more, let me know if the rhythm's going. Because if it still keeps up this sort of high standard, I might go back and read the individuals before the trade. Do you know what I mean? I'm still open to that, because it was a real. I like it when you're like, oh, this looks quite good. I don't want to know too much about it, but it looks quite good. And when you eventually read it, you're like, thank God, it is good. And I think one of the things I like about it as well, and I say this about a lot of comics really, it's always almost a shorthand. Sometimes when comics have a bande dessinée sort of look to the artwork or the rhythm of the storytelling, that appeals to me now. That's sort of like, that looks lovely. You can look at pages and just look at them as well, being like, just love the way that storytelling is told. So I didn't know Matthew Roberts' work before. He did Universal Monsters: Creature from the Black Lagoon is the other credit they've got here.
That's quite recent.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to look at more of his stuff, because it's really good. But Corpse Night is, if you like, sort of, it's a medieval horror action comic that I think is easy to pick up and just run with. So definitely my recommendation. Dan, what's yours?
I read a book that was given to me by Tom Curry, who's an absolute legend. And it's Ode to Kirahito by Osamu Tezuka, or Tezuka Osamu, if you kind of want to be a bit more kind of technical about that. It's an absolute fucking wedge of a book. It's like it's bigger than a house brick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read the synopsis because honestly, the story, I don't think I could do it justice because it's very kind of out there and fantastical. It's Ode to Kirahito follows an idealistic young doctor called Kirahito Osamu, who is sent to a remote mountain village to investigate Monmouth disease, an affliction that deforms bones and makes victims resemble dogmen. After contracting the disease himself, he becomes a target of a medical conspiracy and endures a worldwide odyssey. And this was kind of quite a big book at the time, which was in the early 70s. One good thing about the main character, who he's a very noble guy, and everyone else in this is kind of like quite humanistic and relatable, where he goes through these bouts of emotion, he kind of stays quite noble and true. Like, so when he becomes this dog person, he catches his disease, which you find out is on purpose because of a conspiracy. He like gets maltreated in the fucking most horrible of ways throughout the world, and then makes his way back to Japan as a sort of like reckoning. He's got a couple of Tezuka, like one of the great things that I have, and it's one of the things I love about manga in general, and I think it is from Tezuka's work, is you have these cartoony characters very simply drawn, and then you'll do a close-up and there'll be tons of cross-hatching rendering to this face is almost like monstrously real, and the kind of that juxtaposition of having this really nice clean cartoony image butted up against this kind of like really over-rendered monstrosity of an image really kind of works as kind of like almost like a smash cut like you might get in a horror film. Something like, fucking hell. Considering this is written in the time period it is in the 70s, that I was shocked by some of the content. I was
really?
like,
you were shocked.
You can be.
I
with
was
him.
shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, he's got like the main character before he leaves on this trip to this place to investigate the disease. He's got a sort of compatriot who kind of sort of a rival who kind of looks up at him, down him at the same time. He says, they're like, oh, you better be careful with so and so. If you go away to so and so, you'll like, he's got eyes on your fiance, and eyes on his fiance is raping her in the hospital when the main guy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, how's this going to play out? Oh, he's raped her. And like, fucking hell. And that's not the last time that character does it, or something similar happens to like another character. And you're like, I honestly, it's not graphic. You don't see anything, but like, I was shocked. I was like, I did not see that coming. And there's a level of brutality in the books, which is just. The fucking violence is very kind of, although it's cartoony, it feels very real and kind of.
Yeah, he has those two elements, doesn't he? So he's the same bloke who's doing Astro Boy and stuff like that, but
yeah,
he was also doing these like really
Blackjack.
strange. Yeah. Blackjack's such a strange book.
Yeah,
It's weird to quantify.
There's like it's almost like a nightmarish tale, this one, because Asano, who kind of gets the disease, which kind of their mouth and. Imagine Rick Baker's transformation we done in American Werewolf in London halfway through, where he's kind of like all these face, mouth and jaw and nose are extended to his kind of like animal-like, like a dog-like, and he gets treated a bit like Frankenstein's monster, and he tries to say to people, I'm a doctor, I'm a human, like there's nothing wrong with me. And then across the world, they treat him like shit, like slavery, beating him, trying to kill him all the time, and he constantly tries to help people out to sort of say, no, I can help, I'm a doctor. It's a fantastic read. I couldn't stop once I started. It's every day I was like, I want to go back and finish more of that.
I love reading and stuff. I must. Tom's bought me a book as well. It's sitting on the side because it's so big. It's too big for my daily work rucksack.
Yeah, so I know what you mean. Yeah. I took this one holiday. Started it during the weekend, and I've kind of treated myself to a chapter a day, and then I finished it off yesterday. and
Nice.
loved it. Man, I'm gonna have to dig out some more of his stuff because I've read bits and bobs of his work through the years, but this kind of makes me think, what else has this guy done?
Me and Tom
I
did
know,
an NIA on it,
yeah,
which is
I was gonna
worth
mention
listening
that.
to because we go through some of his other sort of
Yeah,
weirder work, you know, really strange stuff.
yeah,
But so much, he did so much.
yeah.
Who was the
It's
lady we had on who took us through the history of? I think she says
uh,
something like, "There's no doubting how much of an impact he's had on manga." Tezuka, he's just phenomenal.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just
Yeah.
you can see stuff like being at a sort of the older Western creator in Western comics, and like you see something that they introduce, and that echoes through the medium.
We wouldn't have
For
Akira if it wasn't for him. There's
yeah,
no way.
yeah.
We see
There's
echoes of it.
there's so much of it in this. It's just like great. I mean, I'd suggest you look up Tezuka's work and see what you think of it. I
Mm.
found that a fascinating book. And once again, cheers, Tom. I know it's taken me a little while to get around to reading it, but sometimes I've got like a bookshelf of stick stuff on, and I was like, when the mood takes me, I'm going to grab that, and
Yeah.
that was sitting there almost like read me, and
That's why it's called library. Yeah.
I grabbed it. I'm getting
Very
murmurings of
cool.
the natives that I've got to move some books up into the loft. So
Don't ignore them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Nice. Tony, what's your other one?
My last one is I think I read this wrong. It's Terror, Terror Bytes Bytes Terrobytes issue 7 from Mad Cave. When gave you the title earlier, it's written by Joe Sierraki. Thanks to Joe. I can speak to Joseph quite a lot actually on emails and stuff, and we're always talking about the episode and comics that are coming out. And this is a book I try and read a lot on my Mad Cave. I'd missed this one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I saw it on my periphery, and then
Yeah, and he sent it through. I don't think it's released yet, but watch out for it. Art by Maxi Dalio, who's superb in it. The colours Jason Wordy, letters Carlos M. Mangle, and editor Mike Martz. He described it in his email to me as something of a Black Mirror style anthology, and it is in a way. So it's got a wraparound story by Mark Russell, who writes sort of framing pages for it, which you don't really need to see in a way before you jump into the main story. And there's a lot of the story I don't want to give away because it is complex and it is full of themes. I'll talk about them in a minute, but it never comics are making the mistake in my view recently, especially in a world where the audience is more mature, maybe in age and but mostly in reading ability, in leading people by the nose through a story. We don't need
okay,
things constantly explained to us. And part of the beauty of reading, a slightly out there sci-fi story, as we're talking about with previous Vertigo, is that you don't need it explained to you in every moment. And what this is, it starts with a suicide, what you think is a suicide, and a man jumps off the top of a building, and he's the protagonist throughout. And he doesn't die, but he lands somewhere, and that leads him into being into a series of other places. And you jump through time, you jump through places, dimensions, feelings, and you jump through his life in a way. It plays with the element of dreams. It plays with the how we deal with reality, existentialism, fatherhood, death, and life. Obviously, monsters and monstrous acts by people. When you think you've got when you think you're reading it, you think, right, I've got it now. It pulls the carpet out from under you again,
okay,
but it plants clues along the story of things that happen. There's a revelation of a cell. He gets put in a cell next door to someone at one point. Really interesting. I really regret not having pre-ordered the whole series. I'm gonna have to go and try and find out if they're doing a trade of it at Man Cave. They don't always trade stuff, I don't think. I think that's right. Anyone know?
no,
I'm not sure actually.
Prairie Gods never got traded, did it?
I thought it did.
Did it?
Did.
Oh, I might have to get that.
let's have a look.
There's a is it satirical
Did
or is it just prophetic? They did they? Oh, brilliant! I might
Prairie
just
Gods
get
has
that.
got a volume 1 trade?
Oh, I'll get that. There's a it's kind of satirical, but mostly sort of how would you call it? A look into the future at the interconnectivity of us that is the current world addiction, isn't it? We're all obsessed with constant interconnection. And he moves it a step further by having these sort of things on people's heads, these sort of blue glowing wiring attached to people's heads. The art is absolutely next level, really nice. I'd put it up there with maybe some Matt Kint style-ish, somewhere around that. Who did... who were we talking about earlier? Did Firestorm Essex County? Who did Essex County? Jeff Lemire. Very Jeff Lemire-esque. Yeah, very Jeff Lemire-esque in a way. Really strong colour as well. The colourist, Jason Wordy, he's really adds to this and chooses very crisp colours that aid in narrative as well. Experimental leaps of interesting ideas, designs, and storytelling techniques in this. I'd sort of ashamed of myself that I never got onto it. It's nice of Joe to send it through, and I always value talking to him. He's always listened and everything, which is very kind of him. So if you go and find Terrobytes issue 4 from Mad Cave, issue 7 from Mad Cave, but try and get it from the start if you can, and have a read of it. I think I also like Mark Russell's writing as well. If he's writing the sort of framework for some of it, I kind of like his stuff. I trust him. So there you go. It's my second one, guys.
Nice. And you should trust us that these comics are awesome, and you should read them. We hope you've enjoyed this week's episode and everything we've talked about. We've had a lot of fun. As always, the time just absolutely flies. God help us if we decide to do a 24-hour marathon. We're not those people. We haven't got the energy for it. God.
If it cools down, I'd consider it. Not quite now.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it's going to be a hot one in the UK. So to all our UK listeners, stay cool out there, and just look. We read comics. We don't go outside. We're not meant for it. We'll burn. We'll just burn into cinders. This
is my challenge to the readers. On one of the days this week, you've got to go to someone and say, "Hot enough for you?" This fucking one hot enough for you?
Is this hot enough for you then?
Yeah. Usually, if you walk into a lift at work and there's someone who works on a different floor, you say that to them. This is like, hot enough for you?
Yeah.
I love going up to people. I love going up to people and saying, "It's amazing. I don't know where you get your confidence from." The other thing I think is worth doing is always ask for the Wi-Fi code when you're at a funeral.
What's that other one? It's like, what do you think your the most negative trait is you got? I mean, apart from the obvious one.
Yeah.
What?
Why are you sad? Is it because of your haircut?
Oh God. Anyway.
God, we went hateful there. Love it.
Yes. But from hot weather to hot topics, there's going to be more of them. That's just us three. We're the hot babes. And if you've enjoyed this episode and everything we've talked about, please do get in touch with us. If there's any events, if you've got a comic you want us to check out, anything in general, there's several different ways you can get in touch with us to do it. You can email us awesomecomicspod@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at awesomecomicspod on Instagram, at the awesomepod on X. And where did you hear us? Perhaps it's on the website awesomecomics.podbean.com. Whether it might have been the Podbean app, it might have been Apple Podcasts. Just leave a nice review. Just 5-star algorithms and all that shit. We'll get lost in amongst all the absolute dreary nonsense out there.
The algo.
And please don't let us get lost to the algo. I mean, you've listened this far, so you're clearly you like comics and some fun comic chat. So please help us out. You can do the same on Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, Podnose, Podknife. What are the networks we on, Tony?
We're on the Star Wars themed one. Bring me the Rebels come. Is that the right quote? I don't know.
Can I just do a shout out from the three of us in the Awesome Comic Pod? We all hope Marty the best, and that he's
we do, mate.
Do well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we really, really do.
We're all invested in that dog. We love that dog.
Yeah, we love the bops, the boops. And if you want to support the show, you can buy a T-shirt or a mug or something cool from acpgear.redbubble.com. It's the hotness. See, back to temperature again.
Yeah, getting gear, man.
Yeah.
ACP gear.
Nice. I like that. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Top Gear.
where can people find us online, etc.? Tony.
Never on anything or Tony Ez. Tony EZ on Substack.
Nice. Dan Butcher.
You can find me on Twitter, aka X, at Vanguard Comic. You can be Vanguard at vanguardcomic.com.
It's like you've never been away, Dan. It's like, you know, you never.
I did look on my app and it said, "Oh, you've got 93 messages on Twitter," and I was like, "Have I? I don't know."
I didn't know you could.
And I looked, and there's fucking loads
messages on Twitter.
Yeah, there's fucking loads of messages there. I was like, I don't know where these have come from. So if you messaged me on Twitter and I'm not responding, you thought, "What a fucking C-bomb."
Yeah.
Nearly, Vince.
Nearly.
It wasn't me being ignorant or whatever I am. I just
Yeah.
didn't see the message.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get to messages on Substack either. We could get messages saying we got them on there. I don't know how you get to them.
Oh, me neither.
We'll
Didn't know it was
we'll figure that out. We'll figure it all out. And you can find me on social media at Jester Diablo. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. From everyone in ACP Towers, we hope you have a great week. Read comics that you enjoy, and that comic you're making, we hope it's going well. And we hope you that problem you're having with it, why that panel don't work, we hope you crack that, and we hope you smash it. And when you do smash it, let us know what the book is, because we'll check it out. And from all of us here in ACP Towers, have a lovely week. Read loads of comics. Keep making those comics. And apart from staying cool, there's something else they need to do as well. What is that, chaps?
Stay awesome.
Stay awesome.
Bye, everyone. Cool. That was very
Bye-bye.
very manly, Dan.
Yeah.